Everyone, Fo here, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing my current perspectives of my natural hair journey. I just think that this is a great way for you all to get to know me and get to know my hair experiences, and it can help give you some context for the content here on the channel. Please feel free to ask me any questions that you have about my natural hair journey down below. And so let's dive in. So I first went natural since having I was natural out the womb. I had natural hair out the womb, but eventually my mom gave me a relaxer because she was having problems with detangling my hair. My hair is quite thick. And at the time, the natural hair care information, the products, they aren't what they are now. So it was better for her to go ahead and put a relaxer in my hair to ease with the detangling process. And so I had my relaxer, but when I got to middle school, so we're talking like 2003, around that time, when I got to middle school, I saw a woman in a magazine, like think Ebony or Essence. I saw a woman with an Afro puff. And so I told my mom that I wanted an Afro puff. And she was like, okay, well, you're going to have to stop getting your relaxers. And so I stopped getting the relaxers. And even before all the relaxed hair was even gone, because I didn't big chop in middle school, even before all the relaxed hair was gone, I was still able to have an afro. So I was very satisfied that with the relaxed hair that was left over, as well as my natural hair, I was able to easily achieve an afro puff. No effort. That was my hair texture. I was really happy with my hair texture. Something that did gnaw at me though was I wanted long hair. I wanted hair that was like long this way. So I liked my Afro puff, and I thought my Afro puff was so cute, but I still had this conflicting desire for long swing hair. So people kept telling me when they saw how big my Afro puff was getting, people kept saying, oh, if you get a relaxer, if you straighten your hair is going to be really long, my peers. And so I got to high school. It's high school. I'm older now. I got a relaxer. And my hair wasn't really that long, probably because I needed to get it trimmed up to even it out or whatever else. And so my hair was thick though. Don't play with your girl. My hair was thick. But I was pretty disappointed when I got my relaxer in high school. I also didn't know how to care for my hair. So I was putting heat on my hair with the relaxer every day. Oh my gosh. Yes, my hair broke off quite a bit and my hair got quite short. But I decided that I wasn't enjoying having a relaxer. I wasn't enjoying having straight hair. And so I ended up going back natural. Well, initially, here's the story. Initially, my mom took me to a hairstylist a woman that was teaching me modeling that she referred us to. And so when I went to her, she cut off my relaxed ends, but with my new growth, she texlaxed it. So she texlaxed my hair, and she was like, okay, this is just going to give your hair texture a more feminine look. More specifically, she said my hair would look more ladylike with the texturizer. And so I had a texturizer, but after the day she would do my hair, and it would be like curly and shiny. And so that would be the day she would do my hair. It would be defined curls and it would be shiny. But then a little while after that, it would go right back to, a fluffy afro. So my hair is it's a little bit more resistant when it comes to chemical practices. So that's something I noticed about my hair throughout the years. But yeah, so I grew out that texturizer because my dad was like, you need to grow out your hair. You're a young lady. Can be wearing your hair short like that. I don't know if I told you, I cut my hair all the way down in high school. So I went from, I want long swaying hair to cutting my hair all the way down. And, I'm talking about short in high school. I'm talking about like 2-3 inches. And my dad was like, you need to grow your hair back. You're a young lady. So I started to grow my hair back, and I stopped getting the texturizers around 2000. So I graduated high school in 2010. So 2010, I started to grow my hair out. And for hair care, even though YouTube was on the come up, YouTube was in its heyday when it comes to teaching natural hair care, I was not using YouTube. I was using things that I learned from family, friends, the generation before me. So the generation before me, we're talking 60s, 70s, 80s, they were wearing the natural and they were wearing their afros and they were re-moisturizing their hair nightly, replaiting their hair nightly, retwisting or replaiting their hair nightly and putting on their creams or whatever else, or oils or whatever else nightly. And so I was basically doing that and shampooing my hair every 7 days for the most part. I experimented with shampooing my hair every 2 weeks, but my scalp couldn't handle it. My scalp would start to get really irritated. So what I was doing was I was shampooing my hair every 7 days, and I was re-moisturizing my hair throughout the week, initially with mineral oil or petroleum-based products, because that's what I knew about. And then eventually I got onto Shea Moisture, and for years and years and years I was using the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie, Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Shampoo, Curl Enhancing Conditioner. I was using that for years and years and years and years. After I graduated from using Garnier Fructis, their shampoo, and greases and things like, and mineral oil based products. But I was re-moisturizing my hair nightly with a heavy cream and olive oil, because initially my hair would feel softer and more coated and mushy gushy from the heavier cream and the olive oil. But then as the day went on, by the time it was nighttime again, my hair was crispy. So I thought, I need to re-moisturize. So there was that factor. And what was happening was basically I was layering my hair with a bunch of product, and then by the time it came time for me to shampoo, my shampoo wasn't able to remove that product. So my hair wasn't getting enough water on wash day with this gentle shampoo that I was using. My hair wasn't getting enough water on wash day. It wasn't being replenished. It wasn't being moisturized. And so it was just going from dry to dry to dry to dry. And I didn't know any better. And so, and for me at the time, maybe a heavier cleanser might have been okay for my hair. But I will say in the present, it does work better for me to just use lighter products that are still nourishing and a gentle cleanser every 4 to 5 days. So in high school, I was typically, I started to experiment with twist outs, and crazy enough, I figured those out on my own. So like every night, I was like retwisting my hair and untwisting it. And I remember people were so fascinated, like they were like, how are you doing that to your hair? Because there wasn't a lot of discussion of natural hair at the moment. And then when I got to undergrad, it was, because my hair grew out more, it was twist, occasionally twist, because I wasn't the biggest fan of twist. I felt kind of embarrassed to wear my twist, but because I thought at the time that they were kind of juvenile. Man, if the mini twist movement that's out right now, if that could have inspired me back then. But the girls were low-key wearing mini twists then too. I just wasn't big on YouTube at the time. But I was wearing twist occasionally, twist outs the majority of the time, and Afro puffs a lot of times by the end of the week when the twist out got old. And I was also, if I wanted to feel fly, super fly, I would go ahead and I would wear my afro. And so I was occasionally getting braids. I didn't get braids that often, because it just seemed like my hair didn't respond well to braids. Maybe it was also the condition of my hair going into the braids. But braids seemed to dry my hair out, break my hair off. So, but occasionally I got braids because I love them. And in my master's program, I really experimented with braids of different colors. So I really got into braids that were different colors, and I also experimented with sew-ins when I was in my master's program. By the time I got to my PhD program, I was still experimenting with the sew-ins at the top of my PhD program, and also the braids, but also wearing a lot of twist outs, wearing a lot of Afro puffs, But then once I got towards the end of my PhD program, I was doing the wash and goes, the curl definition sets the majority of the time. So that was the style lineup. Around 2018, 2019, I started to experience where my hair would get really hard like it usually does, and I would go to re-moisturize it at night and it wasn't working. Like it stopped working. I kept trying to re-moisturize it. My hair would get crispy. My hair got so crispy at one point, I remember it just snapping off in my hand when I was trying to put oil on it to pre-poo it. And so I started to hear from professionals that you don't need heavier oils and butters to care for your hair, and you don't need the heavier products to care for your hair. And so, I was like, that sounds like that doesn't make any sense. I'm African American, and I'm Nigerian American, but I was having so many issues with my hair that I decided to go ahead and go along with what these professionals were saying. And so I went to my first curl artist in December of 2019. And then throughout 2020, I kept getting short haircuts until I removed all my hair that I previously had. And I basically started over when it came to my hair. So I started all over again in 2020. And before that, let me make sure to say this. Before that, if you're thinking about length retention for me, I would grow my hair always to around this similar length, which this is a lot of hair. I'll put up like maybe some different, links and things that you can click to see my hair in different states or whatever, different videos. But I would always grow my hair out to around this much hair, and something would happen. So it would either be so dry and I didn't realize it that it would start to break off, or maybe I had to get it trimmed off, or I had an instance where in 2018 a stylist really chopped into my hair. And that was really hard for me because we didn't have that discussion for her to cut that much hair. And so I had that experience in 2018. And so, my hair growth, like my hair retaining length, has never been just like linear, where I knew how to care for my hair and I had really great hair care practices out the gate, or good enough hair care practices out the gate, where I've just been able to retain length. That wasn't the case for me. And also as a child, I had around this amount of hair that I have now. So this is around the amount of hair that the growth that I've had throughout my life. And so there's that. But I want to say this is a big deal. I'm super excited about my hair at this point. Like, to be back around this length and this thickness again, I'm like, wow, I love my hair. My hair is long, and the reason why it's important for me to say that my hair is long is because I grew up with this perception of, even when I had this much hair, I had this and my Afro puff would be huge. If I wore an Afro puff right now, and I actually fluffed it out, it would be huge. But I would have this perception that my hair was too short. It isn't, touching my back when I try to stretch it. Of course, it still has kinks and coils in it, even when you try to stretch it. I'd be like, oh, it's not touching, down my back. I mean down my back. Like, I guess the waist length that everybody talks about all the time. I'm like, oh, I can't stretch it to waist length, and, all the type of stuff. And, I just was always chasing longer hair, but now I'm back at this length, and I'm like, girl, this is long hair. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it so much, and I'm so grateful for it. I think one of the things I love the most is how thick my hair is. Like, I remember in the past, I didn't think that my thickness was that big of a deal. I recently, I think this year, no, maybe last year, I went to my curl artist. And I was like, oh, what's my density? It's medium, right? And she was like, medium? Fo, your hair is not medium density. Your hair is high density. And, that really speaks to how I used to view my hair. I used to view it as, okay, it's in the middle. It's, average. It's nothing, over the top, nothing super special. But now I'm like, no, it's attached to my body. It is super freaking special. I'm the only person that has it. So, it's a blessing to be back around this length and to be excited about it and to also know how to care for my hair better. So let's dive into that. So now, how do I care for my hair? Now I cleanse my hair every 4 to 5 days. If you want really detailed stuff like products, then you could check out my Patreon or some of the links down below that are going to be in the description, where I get into detailed like products and everything like that. But this video is about my journey. But now I cleanse my hair every 4 to 5 days with a gentle cleanser, especially because my sensitive scalp has just, it's really, really shown itself now. My sensitive scalp. And then also I often wear my hair in curl definition sets or wash and goes. So this is a wash and go, but it's a lot more fluffy than what I've typically shown up online with. This is Curl Mix. This is the Curl Mix Ultra Hold Gel and the Ultra Hold Moisturizer. Ultra Hold Moisturizer. And it's a lot more fluffy than what I typically have online, because with me doing curl definition sets for the past 3 years, one of my big goals was I want to have the most defined curl definition set I can have, the most, shiny hair I can have, the most luster that I can have with my hair. That was a big goal for me since around like 2020, because I actually thought that my hair couldn't do wash and goes. When I initially went natural back in middle school and I wanted an Afro puff, I didn't care about curl definition. I didn't think that my hair could have curl definition. I didn't think about sheen or luster. I just didn't think about those things for hair. I wanted an Afro puff. And I remember, at some point during high school going to a stylist. And, I didn't even ask her about wash and goes, but I was asking her about her natural hair advice for me. And so she pointed to her daughter's hair or a child's hair. This is a long time ago, but she pointed to a child's hair that had looser hair than mine that was in her chair, or looser curls than mine that was in her chair. And I'm sure my hair looked similar to this, probably a lot less defined. It was likely an Afro puff, like what's on my photo, my little photo in the circle here on YouTube. But it was probably something like that, because that's what I knew how to do with my hair. And so I walked in there and I was asking her for hair care advice, and she was like, oh, my daughter, she can just or whoever the child was, they can just wash their hair and go. But you have to twist or braid your hair. And that was like, at the time, back in high school, that was like a big slap in the face, because it was like she was saying something was wrong with my hair. She was like, oh, this person can just do this, but you gotta twist and braid your hair. And I'm just like, so when I went on the hair care journey of not using heavier products, heavy raw oils, heavy butters, those sort of things, those stylists were also really putting a lot of emphasis on learning how to do curl definition sets. And so I wanted to learn how to do one. I used to not think my hair could do one, but I started hearing, I heard a YouTuber, Jalen Mitchell, talk about how it was a journey for her wash and goes to start turning out the way that they do in the present. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can go on my own journey where I can improve my curl definition and all that stuff. So I went on a journey where I've largely only been wearing wash and goes or curl definition sets for the past 3 years, back to back to back to back, and pretty consistently washing my hair every 4 to 5 days and doing those wash and go sets. And so I wanted to be the best at it, especially with that stylist, or what I thought was the best, especially since that stylist was like, oh, your hair can't do it. And I was like, So for some time, I've been doing really defined wash and go sets once my hair started to get acclimated to that. Because initially, when I started doing wash and goes, my curl definition would last for like a day because of the condition of my hair. And I'll do a whole nother video for you all about my wash and go journey. I'll do an updated video for that. But initially, my wash and go sets would last a day. When I went to the curl artist, they lasted a day. Yeah, they would look slayed and shiny and all this other type of stuff on day one when I went to the curl artist. But then after day one, I would wake up. I made sure my hair was dry. But I would wake up and it would look like, did you even do anything to my hair? And so I was going to work. This is, let me give you all the time period. I was going to work, 2020, working at Sally Beauty, a beauty store, talking to people about hair care. And I had this short hair that for years I had battled with insecurities about having short hair. I had this short hair and I had curl definition that was only lasting a day. And the way my hair would turn out, it wasn't my intentional Afro puff. It wasn't my full and picked out and rounded and shaped Afro. No, my hair was, this part will be curled, this part wouldn't be curled, this part would be zigzagged. My hair was doing 5 million different things, in part because of the condition of my hair, but then also I do have a bunch of different curl patterns as well. And me getting curly cuts, I get curly cuts, but I get my hair cut when I define my curls, and then I go in and on my dry curls, they cut my hair and shape it. But curly cuts help with everything being all over the place when it comes to curl definition sets as well. But I was going in to Sally Beauty to work, to talk to people about beauty, talk to people about their hair care. And I was at one of the hardest points in my hair care journey. But I thugged it out. I cried about having short hair. And I was going in regularly, no more than 7 days, washing my hair, conditioning my hair, restyling a wash and go. And I just kept doing that. And then eventually my curls just started to pop, seriously pop. And my definition was crazy with me doing this over and over. And I'm not saying that everybody will have the same experience as me when it comes to curl definition sets and things like that. But I've gotten to a point that when I set my wash and goes, my hair will have crazy definition, crazy luster, if I choose products that will give me that result. Because some products can make my hair look more dull. And some people naturally have more matte hair. I'm not talking about that beautiful matte hair that some people have. But I've mastered a wash and go. I've done more than mastered a wash. I've owned wash and goes for my hair. And so I used to do twist outs when I was remoisturizing my hair all the time. Or I used to do those Afro puffs. Or I used to do, if I wanted to feel fly one day, I was doing an Afro. But I went from that to always doing wash and goes, because I wanted to master it. I wanted to be a beast at it. So now when it comes to my natural hair journey, I'm trying to keep my hair as healthy as possible. I'm excited to see how my length retention is going to be, especially with the fact that I know how to care for my hair now. And I'm also trying to find balance. Because in the midst of me doing wash and goes, I also was doing some experimenting, and I really wanted to be able to wear an Afro. I wanted to be able to wear an Afro for the 4 to 5 day periods. So every once in a while, I would keep trying to figure out ways to wear Afros, and I would try rich styling creams. Not skimpy, weak styling creams, but I would try rich styling creams on my hair. And I would get these beautiful Afros, but then by the time it came time to detangle my hair on day 4, day 5, it would be just overwhelming for how thick my hair is. And so I'm trying to find balance because I also don't want to always wear the really small, contained, shiny, defined wash and goes that I was working so hard to get towards. So I want to find a happy medium. So that's really where I'm at right now when it comes to figuring out how to wear my hair. And it is quite the challenge, especially because, I don't know if I said this thing, with my sensitive skin getting more pronounced over the years, my sensitivity also has gotten more pronounced over the years. So as a person with allergic asthma, I have to avoid products with fragrance in them. So that eliminates a lot of quality hair products that have come on the scene for us as people with Afro textured hair. So I've had to go on a very hard journey, and I figured out some quality fragrance-free stuff now. You can check out information on that in the description, but I've had to go on a very hard journey of finding fragrance-free alternatives to care for my hair, or fragrance-free products to care for my hair. And so that puts a damper on sometimes the ways that I want to style my hair. Like if I want more of a different finish with my wash and goes and things like that, I'm a little boxed in sometimes. Or even if I don't want to do wash and goes, it's still a process for me right now for me to try to figure out other styling products for me to get a finish that I desire. If I want to do my twist styles, if I want to do a bantu knot, if I want to revisit styles that I used to do in the past, it's going to be a gradual process because I don't want to rush and try products too, because I've done that in this fragrance-free journey of finding fragrance-free hair care. I've rushed to try like different products, and I have even fragrance-free stuff, because sometimes fragrance-free stuff is not truly fragrance-free. But I've rushed to try product, and then I will end up not knowing what product is making my body angry or has caused me to have difficulty breathing and stay up at night with a runny nose. So everything is a very gradual process with trying to figure out my fragrance-free options when it comes to my hair care. But the place that I'm at with my natural hair is so beautiful, and it contrasts so much with how my natural hair was difficult for me for so many years, and like the actual hair care, all that remoisturizing, all that retwisting, it was difficult for me, the actual care, for so many years. For so many years, I didn't see it for everything that it was, for how glorious it was. But it's really like full circle for me to be where I'm at right now, and to be fully satisfied for my hair and excited for the future when it comes to my hair. And I just need to make sure to keep up my health, and I'm ready to see what's next on my natural hair journey. So please let me know if you have any questions when it comes to my natural hair, and yeah, just leave those down below, and make sure to check out some of my other videos. I'll leave some videos at the end screen for you to check out, if you want to browse some of those videos. Once again, my name is Fo. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.